Hi guys, so it's Jellyfish6121 and this video is going to be Comet's cage tour and I hope you guys enjoy it.
So this is Comet's cage tour and this is his cage. Comet lives in a IKEA Samara bin cage like Apollo's. It's 135 litres and again I don't actually know the dimensions of it, but I do know it's above the minimum requirement for a Syrian hamster. So he has fitch bedding also, and it's really nice bedding. It's soft, it's very plush, it doesn't smell, it's really nice. Both my boys love it and it's a great price for money. Again, it's absorbent, it doesn't smell, and I would 100% suggest it. So if we start in the bottom left hand corner, this is actually an igloo which is sort of semi-buried. I'm guessing he decided to semi-bury it because maybe too much light was getting in. I'm not really sure, but he does sleep in there sometimes. He has a few places where he likes to sleep. He doesn't always sleep in the exact same place. And then over here we have just a Whimsy toothbrush chew. He hasn't really taken to the Whimsies. He much prefers his other chews. I mean, he's had a little nibble on it, but I wouldn't say it's his greatest favourite, to be honest. And then we have part of one of those woodland gnaw chews, and it was on like a metal chain. It was like a daisy chain one, but he managed to get them off, and he's already eaten 3, and he's got 3 in here at the moment. He really likes these wooden chews, and he's done quite a number on this one in a matter of days, so yeah, he's actually looking for it now. Showing you all his cage. Here you go. Oh, he's too interested in me. And then just behind his wheel here is like a little nest he's made. I always leave a gap behind his wheel because he does sleep in here when he gets warm. The hamster room is quite warm as I have the door shut and the curtains drawn all the time, and the radiator is always on, so it tries to keep the room as warm as possible for them. Then he has his 8.5-inch comfort wheel. He has a purple one, and if you've noticed, he has several purple items in his cage. So I'm trying to give him like sort of a purple theme. I did make 2 other purple items for his cage. Well, 3, but he's only used 2 of them so far, and none of them are in here at the moment, as there wasn't really space for this time round. He has had them before though. But that's his wheel. Comet is quite a big Syrian, as you can probably tell, and this wheel is starting to become a bit of a snug fit. His back doesn't arch and he's not too big for it yet. However, I am looking to upgrade it in the future, as he is currently 166 grams, and only like 2 or 3 days ago, if you follow my Instagram, you would have saw that he was 163 or 164. He does seem to gain weight quite quickly, which is good because he's a big Syrian. And then over here, just in front of the wheel and to the right of his house, he has another Whimsy, which he's had a bit more of a chew on this one, and I only gave it to him 2 days ago, so that's nice. He's had a bit more of a go at this one, maybe he likes the flavour. And he also has this, which was in the shape of a bunny. Obviously it isn't anymore. But this has been his favourite-ish chew, other than the wood ones. This is like his favourite, well, I wouldn't say his favourite, he's finished others, but he does really like this one. My mum actually got him this when she got me Comet, so that's nice, he does like that. Hey little man. And then over here he has a purple tough chew, and it's one of the extendable ones. It does go much bigger than this, and he has had it bigger, but at the moment I quite like it as this sort of U shape. He does occasionally nest in there. I don't know if, sorry Comet, I don't know if you can see in there, but he does actually take bedding in there, and sometimes he nests in there. And then just here he has a corn on the cob, which he has eaten quite a lot of it, and I only gave him this 2 days ago as well, so that's a bit crazy that he's eaten so much. He also has a cheese chew. He doesn't like his cheese chew as much as Apollo likes his one, but he's had a little chew of it. I mean, I'm surprised because it's like a woodeny sort of chew, I think. And he does seem to like prefer wood. And then he has his sand, which is filthy, and it was only cleaned a few days ago. He pees and poops in his sand. He's not the cleanest hamster in comparison to Apollo, but he is relatively clean. He doesn't wee anywhere other than there. When I first got him, I had a bit of a problem with him constantly peeing in his wheel, and he would wee in it all the time, and it was caked in wee constantly, but he has stopped that now, so I'm quite happy with that, and he's just weeing in his sand. His isn't as deep as Apollo's. I mean, I will show you, but he's... Come on, can you move, darling? see, his isn't as, I mean it is relatively deep, but it's not as deep as Apollo's as he kicks it all out. Which one, little man? And then over here he has a little lion hideout. I did buy this for Apollo. Apollo used it a little bit and then I cleaned it and I thought, oh, Comet could use it. He's so interested in my hand to see what's going on. He does sit in here, he does hide in there, but whenever Comet hides, he always leaves his butt sticking out. He's not the greatest hider. And then just left of this, we have a bendable bridge, which I've just put going over the tube, so you can sort of, oh sorry little man, you can either squidge through here to get to this little section, or he can climb over. And then just here is a chew. I didn't actually put it here, he seems to have moved this here. As you can tell, he's chewed this a lot. This is another one of the daisy chain ones that he really seems to like, so I can just put that back there. And then just where he's standing here, he's got a mini corn on the cob. This is actually his second one. In the time that, yes, this is yours. In the time Comet's eaten almost 2, Apollo hasn't even eaten 1, so you can really tell the difference in them. And then here's another part of the third piece of the daisy chew that's in his cage at the moment. You can obviously tell he likes these as he's got 3 and every single one seems to be attacked. And then what he's sitting on now is a rainbow bridge, and I put it under his wheel and he does like to sit there. He usually poops here, but I have only just cleaned him out, and I did see a few earlier, but I pluffed up the bedding this morning as it gets a bit, the only thing I found with Fitch bedding is it does go a bit flat if it gets pushed against. So this area, or where you lay items on top of it, it does tend to go a bit flat and you have to just sort of fluff it up, a bit like Carefresh I suppose. But it's really good anyway, and so there will be normally poop here. I will explain Apollo's bottle after I have gone through everything else. He never actually goes inside his edible log. This is the first ever time I've seen him do this. I don't know what he's doing. He's being awkward, I can see. Just move that back a little bit for him. He usually perches on top of this and sort of uses it as a lookout post, I suppose. He doesn't actually chew it, which is kind of annoying because Apollo has one that he doesn't chew either. And Comet is really big on chewing, so I really expected him to like chew it a bit more and maybe like take to it a bit more, but he really hasn't, so it's kind of disappointing. Then just over here he has his little food dish, and it's a really cute food dish which I can't show you because he's actually eating, so maybe I'll show you guys that in a minute. And then you can see it's just sitting on this like wooden sort of platform sort of table thing, and it's sort of like a placemat I guess, and it's actually quite deep at the bottom of it, like it's got many lights that about that high, but I dug it into the substrate because otherwise if his bowl was just sitting on the fitch he kept getting like bits of bedding in it and then he wouldn't eat his food, which was kind of annoying. And I don't know why he's pouching. He never pouches. Maybe he's feeling a bit nervous. Never pouches. But this just prevents sort of the bedding going into his food, which is nice because it is kind of annoying every time I had to empty it because there was food in his bedding. But I'll show you his bowl in a little while. So you can see that he's got sort of a DIY bottle at the moment. I'll show you his bottle. He did originally have one of these, the same one as Apollo, the suction cup one. But first it kept falling down, and then obviously I kept putting it back up, and then one time I noticed he'd actually eaten half of the suction cup here. So I sort of left it and just kept trying to use it, and we'll put that one at the top so he couldn't reach it, in case he could obviously just maybe lean up and get it, which he never could. I just was a precaution to make sure he didn't eat any more of it. And then this suction cup here actually stopped working, and I'm not really sure why. There's nothing wrong with it. I can't see anything wrong with it whatsoever. It just wouldn't suction. It didn't matter. I tried everything and it just wouldn't work. And it kept sort of like leaning, so it'd be stuck on like that and then it'd lean like that. So I'd be sort of hanging, and it was really paining my butt. So, and then the other night, so maybe like 3 or 4 nights ago, I actually came in the hamster room and it was hanging off like it normally was, and then I noticed that the bowl actually had a crack in it and it hadn't even fallen down. Like, I don't actually know where this crack came from, but the entire bottle had leaked into the corner of the cage. It was all over the rainbow bridge, so I had only just cleaned him out and I had to change an entire corner of bedding and remove his rainbow bridge for a full 24 hours to dry. It also has gone a little bit rusty, which Apollo's one hasn't, so let me just focus the camera. It's not going to focus. Is it going to focus? Yeah, there we go. Oh no, it's gone again. But yeah, you can see the rust even now it's not focused. But I don't really know. This was a really pain because Apollo's one hasn't actually done too many problems. Like, it's fallen down a few times, but that's expected with suction cups. Also, Comets kept leaking from here, and I can't figure out why because it won't go on any further. So I'm not really sure what's wrong with this one, but I will not be buying this again because I'm really disappointed. And he only had it for like a month. Well, I've only had Comet for like 2 months, so in 2 months this is broken. And I didn't even use this at first. I had a makeshift bottle for like 2 weeks, so this is a real pain in my ass. So yeah, I'll just quickly show you his cute little bowl. Sorry, Comet, you big pig. It's actually got a little hamster on it, and it says hamster. I really wanted one with a picture of a Syrian on, but I couldn't find one, so I had to go for this one. As he's taken all his, mainly the seeds. And I'll just show you this real quick. Oh, it's not as deep as I said it was, but it's relatively high. And then I just dig it down like that, and it's secure, and then that can stand on it without any problems. Anyway, back to the bottle. So it's off of one of those freestanding plastic ones, where it has a little hole in the stand for the hamster to hide in. Well, they're not really suitable for Syrians because I've tried them and I've had 2, and they're just not really high enough off the ground unless you've got a stand to put them on. However, in a cage with no lid, putting it on a stand wouldn't be really good for my hamsters because they could probably use it to escape, and it's just not something I'd want to risk. So I just tied a piece of string to here, and then I take that up there just so it can't fall, it's really secure, that's not going to fall down. And then I just put some duct tape here to hold it in place to stop it from swinging all over the place, and it seems to have worked. At first I was really worried he was going to be able to chew the duct tape, but he hasn't. I don't think he can reach it, and even if he can, he hasn't, so that's really good. But I am planning on getting him a freestanding Living World bottle, one of the wooden ones, as I really like those bottles, and I just think it would be good for Comet as he's quite a heavy Syrian, and it'd be quite a nice bottle for him, better than what he's had so far. So this is Comet's cage. Let's just zoom in and have a look at him cleaning. Hey Comet. Hey. Can you say bye? He's a bit shy, but you can see how big he is. He's a big pig. Empties his bowl every night. Well, that's Comet's cage tour, and I hope you like his cage.